everybody, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I have another process video for you today. And for this particular layout, I wasn't really working on a design team project. I wasn't working with a particular kit, nothing like that. So these are sometimes my favorite projects to do. So no specific like guidelines, no rules, just creating. And so I grabbed a whole bunch of random things from my stash. So I have this 12 by 12 paper pad from Rosie Studio, and I'm going to use that to create the majority of my layout. So I'm really creating with just a bunch of pattern paper. I am going to have a few embellishments that I work with, but for the most part, we're playing with this pattern paper. And I will apologize ahead of time. I'll apologize again at the end. But my phone died for the very end of recording, so you are not going to get to see the part at the very end. But it's only working with the embellishing I do at the bottom of the layout, and I will show it to you in the close-ups, and we'll kind of talk about it. But it's nothing like super revolutionary that it's horrible that you missed. All right, so I am grabbing some ephemera, and this is from a pack that I had to open because I haven't played with it yet, and it's from Jelly Bean Soup, and it has all these really bright, fun, like flowers and icons and different things. And then I'm also going to grab some Rosie Studio ephemera. And so as I had mentioned in another video, I have this like basket on the corner of my desk. It's one of those like tiered organizers from Harbor Freight. And when I am working with things or have like leftovers of things, I just kind of stick them in those trays. And then as I'm creating, if I feel the need or I'm looking for something extra, I can reach into that organizer and just grab like random pieces of things that I have left over. So that's where some of these embellishments are coming from. So I have the floral paper that I want to use as the background, and then I want to use this pink wood grain as the top layer, and then I'm going to separate it with that little pale pink chevron. And this works when creating these layers between like on my page, because all three pattern papers have different scale, so they're all different sizes of prints, which makes it work really well. And so then what I decide I want to do is take this other half of the florally paper, and I want to fussy cut some of the flowers. And I'm going to do this and kind of layer them up over the edge of my pattern paper layers. And then I'm also going to cut out some of the smaller flowers and layer them on top of the flower that is the exact same thing, only bigger. So like there's that big bright yellow flower in the like very top edge. But on the piece of pattern paper that I have that I'm fussy cutting out of, there's a small version of that. So a really cool look that I like to create is to take the smaller version, put it on some foam adhesive, and put it right in the middle of that bigger flower. And it creates this really kind of cool 3D flower look, and you'll see that as we keep going here. But playing with pattern paper and fussy cutting like this is one of my absolute favorite ways to embellish and kind of extend your stash. So I don't need a ton of embellishments. I don't need like all the crazy fancy things. It is working out perfectly just using that pattern paper. So I'm going to put the pieces that I fussy cut on some foam adhesive so that they are going to look dimensional on the page, and it just kind of gives my flowers a whole different like level of dimension. Like they take on a life of their own when you add that dimensional adhesive behind them. So here's where I'm going to layer up those two sizes of the same yellow flower, and I love how that looks. So then I was trying to see if there was any other flowers that I had the pieces for that I could do that exact same thing, but I didn't see any that would work like super well. I am going to do that with this pink one. It has a different color middle, and it's not quite the size difference, but it does work, and a lot of it's going to get covered up anyway. So my thought with my photo is that I'm going to kind of tuck it up into the layers of these flowers. And as I'm going, I am deciding I need more flowers. So I'm sorry that you guys are stuck watching me fussy cut on screen because I need all the flowers. But I'm just adding all of those little kind of pieces, and then I'm going to also add some of the die cut pieces. And what ends up happening is I end up creating kind of an entire border element across the page. And I'm thinking that I'm going to use this super fun right over the top of my photo as the title. It doesn't end up staying that way, but it really kind of looks cute now that I am looking at it on replay, and I'm like, hey, I probably could have went with that, and it looks cute, but it's not going to stay that way. So I'm just trying to decide how I want to get all these little like floral elements and things clustered in here around my photo. I don't want it to be so busy that it takes away from the photo, which is I think why I end up changing out that like phrase right on top. And I'm gonna go with that puffy word discover. It's from Paige Evans Horizon. And it's a little bit softer color and it's a little bit smaller and it's gonna sit on the bottom edge of the photo instead of right in the middle, which I feel like makes it just a little bit less busy. I'm kind of playing around with all the placement, and you see there that I was like, nope, not working, take it all off. So I take it all off and start again, which is, you know, part of the creative process and part of the fun. So I'm playing around with where I want these little like star types of flowers to go, and I think about layering them up. So you can tell that I'm kind of thinking about that bottom cluster that I want to have. I just don't know what I'm doing with it yet. But then I see these little hearts, and those in the middle of these little like starburst type flower things, I don't know what they're officially called, looks really cute. But I end up moving everything up into that kind of line by my photo. So I have everything, all of my embellishments, I tucked in that little camera that I was playing around with. I've got my word discover on there now. So now I'm just trying to decide what other types of embellishing I'm going to do. I'm going to add some of these little epoxy hearts, and so I'm going to stick them into my clusters, and then I'm also going to stick a few of them by my title word discover. So I'm going to create just a little cluster down there. I am going to come in, and I believe it's in the cutoff parts of the video off screen, you guys, but I am going to come in with a bunch of Nuvo drops in different colors and add some drops to the centers of my photos. And then I do create that photo cluster that you see right there down in the bottom where I have some more embellishments. So I have a heart and the word fun and some tickets and some more little florals to kind of tie everything together. And I just went about creating that the same way I created all of the embellishments up at the top. And that's basically going to do it for this layout. So I apologize for the video cutting off a little bit early, but I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing this little bonus process video, and I'll be back to see you soon. Bye, everybody.